I felt such a strong calling to come onto Instagram Live tonight because I've been personally doing a lot of magic astral work to keep myself clear. And I know that there are a lot of people dealing with shadows and fears and anxieties right now. As I talk to personal friends, as I see different posts on social media, as I catch in the wind about the anxieties and fears that are running around. And how do we survive through these times? Because it feels sometimes like death. It feels heavy, it feels intense. It can feel like we are stuck in a box, in a matrix of our own thoughts. So I'm talking about how do we get out of dark times and feeling stuck. And I'm gonna get very magical tonight. I've lit a candle. I have a plant. Plants are the ultimate protectors and guides. And I am burning some cedar. So I like to work with natural elements that are just straight from nature itself. Just being here with you all. Hi, hello, hello, hello. I felt called to come and see who would need some angelic blessings. Tonight specifically, I've been feeling very introverted. And the moments when I feel introverted is actually when I am looking out into the ethers, looking out into the collective field, and being a psychic guardian. For a lot of people, when you think you're just zoning out, you're staring into space, you're not doing anything, you've gone somewhere. You're being called to another timeline. Maybe you're thinking about something in the past, but you could also be looking out into the future. You could be visiting somebody energetically. They could be across the planet, and suddenly they feel you so present because it's like you've left your body and you've visited them. So I'm making you more aware of where you are going when you are zoning out, and how you can purposefully visit people too. And when somebody is on your mind, why are they on your mind? When you're thinking a specific thought regarding someone, are you tuning into their thoughts? Are you tuning into something of their past, and why? And this is where you step into higher guidance and a higher knowing. And you go to the Creator itself asking for guidance. And that is your ultimate teacher, guru, guide. I am simply a messenger. I humble myself often after every personal win or discovery or victory. I thank the divine for orchestrating it all for me, that I could live the life I do. Because it's literally through prayer and communion with the divine that I am here, that I am in this home where I am, that I have these beautiful objects, that I have the lifestyle that I do. It is a communion constantly with the divine. And if you have a lot of people in your life, or even just a few people that you love dearly, you may be concerned about them. I've been feeling a lot of concerns in the air lately. And sometimes the concerns are not valid. Often the concerns are not valid. With the concern, there could be so many stories of that person's past that they project this fear that feels like traumatizing. And how do you protect yourself from it? And then if you care about that person, how do you go into loving and caring for them while protecting yourself? So there are a couple of ways. You can literally block their energy for a while. Don't pick up their phone call. Don't talk to them for a little bit. Give them space on their own. Space and silence are the greatest healers. And that's when you can communicate straight to their soul. It doesn't mean that you are ignoring them. It means that you are recognizing their soul is going through a development and transmuting something in their ego. And so when you're giving them space and silence, it's very healing. You don't want to be interfacing, communicating with somebody's ego. and go back and forth, and your ego is attached, and now it's like a fight and it's a debate. No, just give space. A great virtue is being able to control your emotions. And sometimes it's as simple as just shutting off your emotions for a little bit, taking a bit of a break. I'm talking about, for people that are just joining in, I'm talking about psychic protection while connected with somebody that you love. If they're projecting a lot of fears and judgments towards you, it's coming from a wound inside. And so how do you love them through it all? Like, for example, right now I have blocked a friend of mine from text messages because in her world she is overwhelmed by messages, and when I get her messages, they're not clear. And for her own good, I have blocked her. And I communicate directly to her soul, and I even went to her door and left her a note and told her we can talk by paper and pen. And so it's a boundary that supports me, and it also works with her soul, not her ego. You've got to tap into, what do people's souls want? Talk to their souls. Right now, egos are strong with fear and anxiety. Your own being can be full of fear and anxiety, so then you go straight to your soul. And there's 2 steps to doing this. You close your eyes. You go in within. And this is in communicating with your soul. Past your own ego. You recognize, okay, I have sadness, I have anger. But what is my soul wanting right now? That soul, what is it? It's a deeper essence that is so pure. That is just ultimate love. That is the Creator's gift onto this planet. And the ego is just rampant and full of human egoic constructs of fear and competition and scarcity. We want to clear all of that. And in the soul world, that's where you can just be peaceful. And sometimes you need to be deep in a void inside of yourself. And that void can feel scary, like it's empty. All of a sudden, there's nothing. You're not feeling anything. You almost feel this creepy sense of disconnection from reality. But it's actually a deep peace that maybe you haven't felt in a while, because you've been so consumed and interacting with all these words and dramas, and suddenly it's just really quiet. And you think, am I disconnected from my emotions and people? No, you are honoring your soul's essence, which is a great peace. A great peace. Sometimes I feel like being really quiet. And this can be very challenging with people that love to talk. I sometimes love to talk and am ignorant to when somebody just wants silence. I'm becoming more aware of this, that silence can be a powerful communication. And in that silence, you can vibrate feelings of acceptance and love and care, peaceful being. And sometimes I enter these great silences within myself where I begin to sense the deeper realities happening on the planet. I feel fears that are running in the world, and that's when I can again offer my silence. There's a Tibetan practice where you hold your own fears within a bubble of love, but then you extend yourself and you think, who else out there is feeling fear? And You extend your bubble of love to hold those people with love and transmute their fears. And this is how you gain even more virtue and power. You know, if you can love your enemy, that is the greatest superpower. And that person is not your enemy. It's the human construct, the ego. They're your soul's best friend. I see different people that I've had challenges with in the past, but that as time has passed, we're good friends again. I needed time on my own to grow, to learn, to know that I have to say I'm sorry. And they needed the same. Be okay with letting people go. And it can be that in just a few moments of letting someone go, there can be a transformation. Because you're letting go of your projection of them, your story of them. Many times in intimate romantic relationships, it can feel like we're breaking up with somebody a few times within a year. And sometimes it can feel like, that's it, I'm done. I can't be with them anymore. And you give it some space and you go do your own life for a day or a week or a few hours. And then you start to miss them and you start to remember the goodness of them. And they also start to share in different ways with you. And you start to remember love again with them. And this is just in giving some space. The healing power of space. Giving yourself space. Earlier today I was upset for some different reasons. And sometimes when I'm upset, I think, okay, what is there to do? I should go here. I should go do this thing. I should move on like this. But something I've really learned is, what do I actually feel like doing right now? Let me not rush into the next few actions, because that's running away from something. It's still acting out of the fear. Now I just give it some space. So I let myself actually just sit with it all for an hour. I played some music. I breathed, I let it go. I have this deep faith the universe wants what's good for me on this journey of growth and transformation. Through the fires of anger, it actually wants to take me to the other side of peace, and it's in the process of changing something within me and within the other person. So I just gave it some space, like full space to be. And then when I talked to that person again, I felt calmer, and we actually had fun, and we laughed and healed and grew. It used to be in the past that I would get so upset with someone and yell at them and not want to talk to them for days. Now it's like the process of love finds me quicker and quicker. And the process of forgiveness through many years of letting go and loving, letting go and loving, letting go and loving, caring even when I'm upset. I keep going. Dragons. Ayana is posting dragons. Wow, I've been so much in the dragon energy today. You feel it. Dragons. They're very powerful in the astral field for intense thoughts to be burned. For illusions of fear to be dissolved. Hi. And when I don't know what to do, sometimes I feel very stuck within a dilemma, within some sort of upset, angry feeling. I call upon the dragon. I become a dragon. Yeah, lately they are everywhere because they're wanting to help humanity evolve as quickly as possible, especially before the end of the year, because we set resolutions each year, like this is what I will accomplish. And it's really that we're going to grow in the virtues of compassion and move our lives in some new direction, form some new relationships, and our soul has an agenda to accomplish this year. And so right now it's go time. It doesn't mean get into fast action. It just means really reflect on the lessons you've learned so that you're not repeating them, so you can move on to the next stage. It's an important time for reflection. The more we can actually be still and reflect on what we've learned, the blessings, every single blessing, every single person, the more we collect points that let us open up new gates. And that's when we can create new resolutions for the new year. And really this can happen every day. But as a collective, we have this habit of each year we create some new resolutions. So you can ride that momentum. It's perfect. Today, actually, so I got my partner, my boyfriend, a glass dragon that I hung on, like in his car on this little hook. And the other day he had to make a fast stop, and the glass dragon had hit the glass window and been broken. And I just saw that today. And I felt a little sad because we both created an energy around this dragon. Its name was Rooney, and it was acting as a guide. I got it for him, so I had an even greater love and affinity for it. But as I held it in my hand, its broken pieces, I actually felt its personality enter my being, and I actually started to feel like Rooney itself. And this is also when somebody dies. Their spirit, the best of their spirit, can enter you, and you become some of their greatest qualities. That's why when somebody physically dies, we should be celebrating and seeing what gifts they'll bring to us from the other side, or they leave their human ego and they become the pure soul, ideally. And as the pure soul, you can really tap into their gifts. When my grandfather passed away 2 years ago, I didn't feel like going back to Albania and being at his funeral because I felt so spiritually connected with him, and I saw his soul leave his body and travel to the highest of heavens. And I still connect with him, and I actually feel like I got some of his gifts of being incredible with my hands. He was a man that was like golden hands. He used to cook, he used to be with so many people, and it's like he did so much with his hands. And I felt more gifted with my hands. He was very spiritual, and I felt even stronger in my spirituality since he passed away. So think about some of your ancestors, and you don't even need to know who they are specifically. You can just call upon some of your most awakened, powerful. And every person has different powers, so you can call on your ancestors for some of their powers to come through you, to come through strong. If one of your ancestors was very resourceful and an international traveler, ask them to come through as the spirit of the adventurer and to show how they manifested their ways, how they attracted resources. Hi, I just felt like coming on today because I've been personally in a strong world of magic. I've been talking to a few close friends, and everyone seems to be in a deep, reflective mood today. There's always something happening internationally. I mean, this whole pandemic is really making a big scene right now, but people have always been dying on this planet. Really, the gift in it all is that we're even more aware of death, which we should always be. And ideally, if we can learn how to celebrate and embrace death, that would be perfect. I sometimes do this meditation of seeing my own death. I love it. It liberates me. It helps me let go of some of my human fears and stories. It feels like I'm rebirthing myself each time. When this virus first hit the global news, I was, as everyone's stuck in a lockdown and saw less activity, and I was feeling stagnant. My friend reminded me of the power of meditating with death. And so for a few days, I was laying down with my eyes closed and just imagining my funeral, imagining not having this body, imagining being in other worlds, and knowing that I'll still be here. So as long as I'm here, well, how liberated can I be? How expressed can I be? And in the death meditations, I just will picture my funeral. That seems to be a powerful one. And so I'll see who is important at that phase of my life. It'll immediately show up. Like I saw one of my best friends making this beautiful flower mandala on my gravesite, and that made me happy. And I talked to her about it, and it was this message of working with flower essences and appreciating flowers more, which then became this ritual for us in becoming happier. Hi everyone, I'm talking about death. It's an important meditation to do, especially while there's so much fear around death right now. And it's always been in us to, when we fight or flight, it's again this illusion of death. Well, you've got a destiny to be on this planet for a certain amount of time. And I just know that my destiny is not to die anytime soon. What needs to die is my fears, my attachments. I need to evolve. So, as I've mentioned, I'll practice seeing my funeral, or I'll practice being in the astral world beyond planet Earth, and then I'll start to miss it. And I'll see, what did I really miss? Because those will be signs of what's actually important. For a while, I started to really see that I love having a body to dance with. And it suddenly became so important to dance. And I would think, wow, if this is my last lifetime on earth, and last lifetime in this body of this woman that is flexible and healthy and capable, and she can dance and it gives her so much excitement, then I want to dance in it. And it liberated me of the judgments that I think others would have me, because I thought, well, fuck that. This is my last lifetime here and I want to dance. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks of me. Yes, dance. I know you love to dance as well. And again, meditating on death helps me really see who's important in my life and how I need to appreciate them more. We take people for granted. We hold resentments, but if we knew that they were dying or I was dying, there would be so much love to express to them. So many times that's helped me come out of resentments towards my parents for whatever they've done. You know, I'm their one and only daughter. They have so many expectations of me, and I'm so far from what they expected me to be. But I still gotta love them. I still love them so deeply, and it's practicing meditations on death that has helped me really see how much I love them and communicate with them in a way where they feel my love, and it helps clear up their ego of their expectations of me, and it becomes easier to connect. They start to appreciate me more, and they see the beauty and the magic inside of me. And likewise, when I imagine them being gone one day, I appreciate them even more for all the little things that they do. All the food my dad makes, all the ways my mom communicates, the way she cares. I want to know that I appreciate her. You know, I'm dating someone right now, and they do things that I don't like sometimes. Well, our destiny is to be together. I feel it. For however long it's meant to be. And so how do I dissolve the resentments, the upsets, so that I have as much fun as possible with them? Because it's literally the ego that creates layers and layers of judgments and expectations, and we don't see their amazingness and all the different ways they give to us and to pay attention to us and love us or love the world. Ah, so just imagine that. Like your closest few people dying. Oh my God, how sad you would be. So what do you need to tell them? And they're not gonna go anywhere. It's just imagining this is very powerful. And it can heal so much. Maybe that thing you tell them about what you appreciate about them helps them heal a challenge, a suffering that they've been dealing with for so long. And you are the one that heals them with your words. Yes, an unending reservoir of love. Hi. So we're talking about death. What else about death? How beautiful it is. It's new life. We can go through 33,000 ego deaths in this lifetime. Think about when you were a child and how different you are now. In those moments of greatest challenge and pain, it's felt like death, and it needed to, because you've been burning some level of your ego, some level of your DNA that is old and ancient and filled with drama. And in those tears that you've cried, or in this expression of emotion and anger, whatever you expressed, you came out on the other side and you felt quieter. You felt calmer. So just face your fears. Face what it is that's really going on inside. I feel like I've lived many lives in this one lifetime, Ayona. Do you want to come on live with me? If you do, just send a request and we can share. I'd love to hear from you. You have so much wisdom. If not, that's okay right now. What else do I want to share? Listening to intuitive hits. Like, there's a friend I talk to maybe once in a few weeks, and I just felt like saying, "How are you?" to him tonight. And he said, because he's very magical as well, and he said, "Wow, I told the divine to have you reach out to me within 24 hours. And you just did, within 24 hours. And so I got his soul communication. And I just knew to message him. Even though I don't usually. He's a lawyer. He's like in a different world. But he needed to hear something from me, and I needed to hear something from him. So when you hear somebody's name in your mind, send them a little picture, like a little emoji, or a how are you, or hi, and just see, why is the divine wanting to orchestrate the two of you connecting. And sometimes it's not, when you hear somebody's name, check. Maybe it's not to reach out to them, but you're just being clued in into their world. Like you're energetically connecting with them, and you're tapping their consciousness, and you're saying, "I feel you. You're not alone. It's okay. Keep going." And that could be enough, because we need to feel connected, especially if we're not seeing each other physically. Feeling emotionally connected is just as powerful, energetically connected. When I have a few minutes of I'm not doing anything, or how do I spend this time, I'll meditate, and I'll just send out some love to different people I know. I'll feel like I'm flying around them. Or sometimes there's something heavy happening on the planet, and we all have different quantum powers. Like, we can play with the energies, we can lift up burdens, we can offer different symbols that open up portals. We can do so many things, and you can just simply ask Spirit to show you what your specific powers are. And if you'd like my help, reach out to me as well. Like, an interesting story is, so my friend who reached out earlier, as a lawyer, he works with different property managements, and he's had this one tenant that is unwilling to move. Even though the papers are moving forward and she has to leave, every time he thinks and deals with her, it's like this headache. And so I told him I would do some prayers and energy work around it, and I could feel, and it's not that I want to push her out of that space. I meditated on, what does she need? What kind of blessings does she need? And I saw that she'd cried so much in her attachment to that specific property, and she physically couldn't move. She felt stuck because she was just in this cycle of feeling so attached and secure in that space. And I saw that what I could offer for her was opening up some sort of portal of excitement into the future, because she was stuck in this gloom, this darkness around her. Hi, my love. And so I'm talking about offering psychic blessings from afar, which I know you do so well. And I saw that I could open this portal into her future of light that would be like this glimmer of hope in her world that would tell her, okay, I can move forward. There is something better. And she's a magical being. I could sense that. And I could sense that she had a connection with elements of the fairy world. And so do I. And I felt like I could send some fairies her way to tease at her, whatever had grown hard around her that had kept her stuck, to remove some of the cords. And the word tease came to mind, like tease her out of this cobweb she was stuck in and bring some play and magic and lightness and play in her world. So that was something that I could offer. And all the magical people that come onto my page and connect with me, I know you have different powers. Tatiana, I know you helped me so much the other night when I was feeling really down, and it was like 1 a.m. here, and you happened to be awake and doing whatever you were doing in your world. Then you offered me some of your light language. Thank you. It was so special because I was in this like dark night of the soul phase for a few hours, and your light language just opened up so much dimensions of my higher self. I felt like I was lost in some dark underworld abyss, and you opened up these gates to my higher self where I could reach for the light. I could reach for wisdom. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I think I'll log off for now. It's been a pleasure to come on here, connect. Reach out to me personally if you need any help.